Hello students. So far we have learned about the power of promises. It gives us the ability to defer computation, an incredibly powerful feature for concurrency. However, that still leaves us the question of what to do with these promises once they are resolved. Take the example of a computer which has to handle asynchronous input from multiple users. Each user can put in their need at a different time, and once each of these input is completed, the computer needs to carry out a set of asynchronous action using that input. In short, we need to wait to handle the dependencies between these promises. This mechanism in LWT and is also used in many other languages, including JavaScript, is called callbacks. A callback is a function that will be run sometimes after the promise has been resolved, and it will receive as input the content of the resolved promise. Is that a hand I see, Bob? Sorry, I still don't really understand what a callback is supposed to be. No worries, Bob. I have trouble wrapping my head around callbacks the first time I saw them also. Perhaps this example will help to make things more clear. Let's say I assign you a problem set, Bob. Don't worry, I'm not actually going to give you a problem set, just a hypothetical one for the sake of demonstration. Okay, back to where we were. So Bob, now you have this problem set that you need to finish before I could grade it. You promised me that you will finish it and will call me back when you have solved it. What just happened is effectively a callback. Your promise is a problem set remains pending until you either turn it in which case I will grade your work, just like how a callback runs on the content of a resolved promise. Or you will not turn it in, like how a promise is rejected, in which case I will not grade your work and just mark it as fail. Like how the promise is returned is also rejected with the same exception as a rejected promise. So Bob, you better turn in your next homework assignment on time and not tell me your dog ate it for the 5th time. So, is a callback a function or a promise? I'm a bit confused about that also. I understand why you're confused. To better grasp what a callback is, we need to take a look at the LWT bind function. The bind function takes in a promise and as its first argument, no matter if it's resolved or pending. This for the second argument, the bind takes a callback function. This callback takes in as input the same type alpha as the content of the promise and returns a promise. Sorry. Correspondingly, the type of the LWT is, in summary, the callback is of this type: alpha to another promise, which returns, as you can see, another promise. Correspondingly, the type of LWT.T is alpha T, or promise X, you could call this, and this you can call promise y. And which is in turn returns to the user this final promise as output, or this is promise z, and this is promise y. The final promise as returned to the user. Yes, Bob? It is not a big deal, but did you mistakenly label the X, Z, Y in the wrong order of the alphabet? Oh, right. In fact, no. That was intentional. Why the odd ordering? That is because promise Z is actually not created until later. Promise Z is actually not created until later. When promise X is resolved. Note, there's no guarantee what the state of promise Z will be when it is returned after the callback, even when promise X is resolved and this is returned. But however, whenever promise Z is resolved, the content of Y is updated to the same content as Z and then returned to the user. So the reason why bind is designed with this type is so that programmers can set up sequential chains of callbacks. For example, the following asynchronous code reads in one string where a string can be read, where the first string can be read, then proceed to asynchronously read the second string and prints the concatenation of both strings. One can also use the more commonly infix operator more commonly infix operator to shorten the notation to, hopefully I have it saved. No, that is not it. To shorten the above, or you could use in also. But yeah, that is everything foundational you need to know about callbacks. I hope you enjoyed the lesson as Bob here did. Thank you.